We employ the government to run our affairs on our behalf. All they need to do is to ensure that in so doing, they embrace the MPH principle. That is meritocracy, pragmatism, and honesty. The current revelations in this Kenya Kwanza government is a backstab on the MPH principles. They have been singing of the Islamic economics and equating it to the Singaporean miracle. There was no miracle in Singapore. Those people embraced meritocracy. How did the president hire his cabinet? He just confirmed the other day that some of the cabinet ministers do not understand exactly what happens in their ministries. Meritocracy, X. We talk of pragmatism. How realistic is pumping 40 billion out of 12 billion investment as fund to the economy? Pragmatism missing. Honesty. Why would you import a substandard oil products, edible oil, to the people of Kenya? The deputy president is seeing, they first prophesied a non-existence of El Nino. El Nino came, now is saying it is us who are taking ourselves to the floods. So I wonder, that woman who was being swept in Mandera or Garissa,
whether she took
herself to that situation. That was a pregnant woman who was going to give birth maybe to the savior of this nation, because this current administration has failed. Maybe that was the Messiah we were waiting for. They are saying that boy and the mother took themselves to the floods. Really? Where are we headed as a country? Small countries like these neighboring countries, I would not call them for the interest of diplomacy. They are doing well when it comes to FDI, that is financial development investment. They are doing well when it comes to GDP. They are doing well when it comes to per capita income. What are we doing? We are struggling even to buy a cup of, it's not even a cup. We call it a tumbler of coffee. A tumbler of coffee. Because tumblers are no longer used in clubs. Gone are the days when someone would get time to sip at least 1, 2, 3 sips in the entertainment joints. Nowadays, people are really struggling to put ugali on the table. The ugali we are eating is a product of GMO. GMO has a long way. Health risks. Some of these MPs or parliamentarians have never handled a cancer patient. I speak as one who has dealt with a cancer patient. I have worked in a regional health facility. And that's why when I speak of a country that is stagnated from the economy, health, and security, I speak of what I know. Go to the public hospitals. The vital drugs are not available. The procurement teams are the same people who open outlets of pharmacies outside the hospital setups. You go for a vital drug in a public hospital, it's not there. But you walk into a small scale kibanda, equivalent to a public toilet outside in the name of a pharmacy, you find a very expensive drug. Then you ask yourself, what is the miracle behind the drug moving from a chemistry or a production center all the way to these small pharmacies and not a public hospital?
Actually, they refer you.
They will tell you, go to XYZ pharmacy. These are medics in these public hospitals. No one is talking about that. Someone is coming to tell you SHIF. NHIF has been funded with billions, and NHIF fails to provide vital surgical cost that is required as per the insurance scheme. A lot of people are queuing still in the hospitals waiting for NHIF approval. Why should we remit? Then after remittance, the money is not there.
Then you wait.
Who is this NHIF? Who is the patient in NHIF list, if not the people of Kenya? NHIF has not been, the issue has not been finalized. They are up in games with another scandalous scheme called SHIF, which do not meet both common and legal framework. I want to tell the president that in as much as we are the commander-in-chief, now we are those chiefs. We are the people. Not unless the provisions of Article 1.1 has been revoked, we will feel powerless as the people of Kenya. But the moment the provision is still intact, and the statistical report of the youths being 75+%, we will hold you to checks. Whether you hold countable, you capture parliament and pocket it and the judiciary, you will never capture an angry population. That one I can tell you. No matter how much amount of money you splash in the economy to buy the hustlers through the UDA party, I want to urge the youths, whenever you see a UDA party agent splashing out money, take that money, eat, and when it comes to election, vote in a manner that you see or deem fit for you. Do not just vote because so and so is there.
Absolutely.
I had warned the young people against Kenya Kwanza government when I was exiting ANC, and I told them the potential risk of voting this government. Some of them took me for granted. What I would see then has taken them 14 months to see, and yet more is to come. But we are saying the rule of law must be respected. The people must respect the structural separation of power in the country, and the government must also respect the people.
Absolutely.
We must very soon, if the trend of ministers dodging parliamentary sittings and special committees continue, we will summon them in the public domain. If they fail to appear, we will initiate their removal from office. Nothing will happen. They will go. We must be accountable. A government that is not accountable to its people is not even accountable to the rule of law. It's not even accountable to the to God Himself. So who are they accountable to? You find Parliament is taking orders from State House, and there is a lot of bureaucracy and opulence in this government. The government is living like a rich woman, while the people are living like slum dwellers. How do we call them? Victims of squatters. Yes, citizens are living like squatters and refugees. The government, yesterday I saw Aaron Cheruiyot Kenya Kwanza tournament in Kericho. They landed with a bunch of notes. The deputy speaker is telling Kenyans to tighten their safety belts. We are amidst a turbulent sea, but with them they are living like kings in Dubai. Where are you getting that money? Why do you think we have the monolithic patience to sit and wait for you mismanage our lifetime, our social welfare as we watch? Never. There comes a time that even the most patient person develops impatience. And an impatient, angry man is equivalent to troubles. Providing security to the people do not mean deploying police in the streets to work with guns and etc. Security narrows down even to consumption. We have seen instances where the credible edible oil that I've been talking about, the substandard aspect. Why would you import a poisonous product for the people to consume? The Kenya Bureau of Standards also told us that quality checks depends on you. KEBS stickers do not justify quality of the standards that you are going to consume. So in which country are we living? We're living in a country where you ask a police about security issue, they don't know. You ask a KEB officer why a substandard commodities in the market, they tell you the responsibility begins with you. We having a government that you are being swept by floods. They are telling you, stop going to where the floods are, and the floods found you there. We don't have a country here. So as I wind up, I would say, for the interest of democracy, the rule of law, that there shall come a time that no one will speak to the people in a language they will understand. I'm not preempting anything funny, but the writings are on the wall. The people are tired. The people are angry. This is the time the president should humble himself like he used to take uji and githeri with Mama Mboga and watu wa boda boda. He should visit those boda boda guys and ask them, what is the cost of fuel? What is the cost of this? My grandma used to tell me that during President Kenyatta's, that is Jomo Kenyatta's regime, people used to walk in plain clothes in retail shops. They would ask for a price of sugar and buy. They would compare it with the government regulated price. If you go against that, they would arrest you. Here we have a scenario where cartels are importing sugar, repackaging them in existing company brands, then selling poisonous sugar to the people of Kenya. KEBS is watching. They're telling us they're powerless. KRA is there just to take money. I mean, we are taking this country for a ride, and not for so long will this continue. Whatever begins must end. The ending depends on the circumstances that prevail, the actual ending. I'm not preempting anything, but I'm just saying it will be taken as it comes. So I want to advise the president that you are the commander-in-chief. You have the power to hire and fire a minister, an economic advisor. You know, by the way, it is in the records that David Ndii, who is one of the economic advisors to the president, called our president a thief severally on his tweets. Today he says he's not going to be accountable to lies and etc. The problem facing President Ruto is that he is working with people who do not believe in him. That is the problem. David Ndii suspects him. David Ndii advises him. All these people, Alfred Mutua, said everything about the president. So it is not a matter of politics. We are looking at the morality, the fairness in the statements you make against someone. Some may be derogatory, destructive, but at the end of the day, what those people said are actually manifesting. They no longer care for anything. So I want to urge the entire people of Kenya that you choose to be calm. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Do what you feel is right for you, but never entertain impunity, never entertain corruption, never entertain illegalities, because we are the people of Kenya and this country belongs to us. We just donate a piece of power to some of the few individuals to run our errands on our behalf as the bosses, as we fund them, working overzealously to ensure that tax is paid. Now students are going to go to school in January. Parents and a lot of number are going not to report to school. It is a worrying state that even the university after allocation, various students fail to turn up for the colleges and university placement slots. We are just moving on as a country. We are just moving on, nothing is happening. What are we generating? Tags. The problems in Haiti did not start as a miracle. Some of them started this way. So we must ensure that the right thing is done by the right person. If you can't do it, go away. You're not the only person living. Kenya has got 40+ million people.